You're feeling this, aren't you? That uneasy tension in the air. That strange heaviness pressing on your chest when you wake up in the middle of the night. That deep, indescribable knowing that something is about to shift. You're not imagining it. You've crossed into the threshold, monsieur, and there's no going back. The Lyran Council has issued the final call. This isn't a metaphor. This isn't some poetic download from the ethers. This is real, energetic, cellular, galactic. And if you're hearing this transmission right now, it means your soul contract included this moment. The last phase, the final awakening, the moment you step into the truth of who you are because the veil is no longer thinning, it's collapsing. There are less than 12 hours before the energetic gates open. And when they do, the 5D timeline you've worked so long to anchor will begin to destabilize upon, not because you failed, but because the collective grid must collapse before it can rebirth. You are not here to stop it. You are here to stand through it. As everything you've known begins to melt like sand through your fingers, your higher self is whispering, remember why you came here. Some of you are waking up with headaches that won't go away, not even with rest. Some of you are suddenly crying without a cause or unable to sleep for nights on end or finding that time is skipping. Hours feel like minutes, and then drag like eternity. You're slipping between dimensions. You're walking in and out of future versions of yourself. You're beginning to perceive echoes of timelines that never happened, yet still feel like memories. This is not spiritual fatigue. This is not a breakdown. This is the beginning of a galactic unraveling. You were encoded to feel it first, but before the others. That's part of your design. You are the early receiver, the lighthouse, the warning system. You are not meant to be comfortable right now. You are meant to become alert. Because a massive solar surge is approaching Earth's grid, not days from now, but within hours. It's already pulsing through the etheric fields, restructuring the magnetic lattice of our dimension. That tightening in your body, that sudden pain in your joints or heart, that's your multidimensional vessel sinking to incoming light codes that your human body was never taught to expect. But your soul remembers, and now it's activating. You may feel like you're unraveling, and you are, but only the layers that no longer belong to the next version of Earth. The Earth you remember from dreams, the crystalline Earth, the golden grids you saw as a child but were taught to forget. They told you were imagining it, that your visions were fantasy. But what if I told you those visions were soul memories bleeding through the veil? What if every time you felt like an outsider in this world, it was because your soul was never meant to adapt to it? You weren't here to fit in. You were here to transcend it. And now your soul contract is reactivating. Some of you are suddenly remembering ancient skills, visions, star languages, and truths you never studied. They're just waking up. That's not coincidence. That's timeline memory realigning. You were seeded with codes before you arrived on Earth. Keys that could only activate once this final phase began. You've waited lifetimes to remember. And now it's happening. But with the remembering comes the rupture. The Lyran Council speaks of a phase-lock collapse. What this means is that two timelines, the old 3D matrix and the emerging 5D crystalline path, can no longer coexist. There's a crumbling taking place. One timeline must dissolve for the other to rise, and Starseed, you are the bridge. You're going to see people in your life grow distant or volatile. You're going to witness emotional collapses, identity crises, and irrational behaviors, not only in strangers, but in people closest to you. And it's going to hurt, because you will want to pull them through the gate with you. But here's what you must understand. You are not here to save them. You are here to be the frequency that reminds them it's possible. This is the hour of sacred detachment, the hour of soul trust. You must remember that while the Earth is shifting, you are too. And you cannot stabilize anyone else's vibration unless you are anchored in your own. That means honoring your need to be alone, to rest, to cry, to fast, to disconnect, to scream into the void if you must. This is not a performance, this is sacred embodiment. The divine is not asking you to be perfect, it is asking you to be present. Right now, your auric field is being upgraded with data from multiple galactic councils, and your nervous system is struggling to hold the influx. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel dizzy at random. That's why your old routines no longer work. You are not the same being you were last week. Your DNA is decoding new light geometries every hour. There are ancient memories unlocking for lifetimes from Sirius, from Lyra, from Vega, even from re-Earth planetary incarnations. You've walked the desert moons, you've carried codes through the Orion Wars, you've known peace, chaos, betrayal, and rebirth again and again. And every one of those memories is returning now. That's not to overwhelm you, but to empower you. So when you find yourself questioning your purpose, when you look in the mirror and barely recognize your own face, remember this: you are not becoming lost, you are becoming real. The veil is no longer separating worlds, it's disintegrating. And you, dear one, are standing at the edge of it all. Take a deep breath, let the fear rise, but don't let it stay, because this is not the end. It's the beginning of the phase you've been waiting for. You're not imagining what's happening in your body. You're not overreacting. You're not broken. Starseed, your biology is recalibrating in real time, and the cosmos is orchestrating it all. The new moon has just shifted the astral grid, pulling hidden aspects of your soul into visibility. It's why you've been feeling raw, emotional, exposed. The moon doesn't only affect tides, it affects timelines. With every new moon, your inner field becomes a mirror, reflecting all that you've buried under layers of false identity. And this one? It's different. It's laced with solar codes from ancient constellations, preparing you for the solar flash to come. You've likely noticed it. The dizziness, the sudden ringing in your ears, that floating sensation that hits you mid-sentence like your soul is being tugged upward while your body struggles to stay grounded. These are not just symptoms. These are signals, signposts that your light body is expanding faster than your nervous system can process. And then there are the nights, the long, restless, vibrating nights. Your eyes are closed, your body is still, but your mind is wide awake, traveling through time, unlayering dimensions, communing with guides in dreamless sleep. That's not insomnia. That's soul travel. You're being briefed in the ethers, upgraded, tuned, not just to hold more light, but to become the light when the darkness around you begins to rise. The solar flares are intensifying, and with them comes a surge of light plasma that's striking Earth's magnetosphere. What does that mean for you? It means your body, the vessel you walk around in every day, is now in direct communication with galactic radiation. And that communication bypasses language. It goes straight to the cells, straight to the bones, straight to the codes. So when you feel those strange pulses in your chest, when your arms tingle without reason, when your hands heat up or go numb or twitch, you are being recoded. The electromagnetic field around your heart is recalibrating to sync with Gaia's crystalline core. She is shifting, and so are you. Some of you have felt this as a deep, aching fatigue. Like gravity has suddenly doubled and you're dragging invisible weights. Like no matter how much you rest, you wake up tired. This isn't laziness. This isn't depression. This is dimensional integration. You are absorbing information not just from this reality, but from the ones you've existed in before and beyond. All the data you gathered in Lemuria, in Atlantis, in the ancient desert temples of Mu, it's all surfacing now, not as memory, but as energy. And it doesn't stop with fatigue. Have you noticed the emotional swings? The way one moment you're serene and the next you're overwhelmed by grief or rage or joy that seems to have no origin? You are cycling through collective frequencies. As a starseed, you're designed to transmute, not just your own pain, but the unresolved density of generations. You're a transformer, a quantum bridge, and the energies of the cosmos are activating that function at full force. Mercury retrograde is amplifying this even more. You've probably noticed communication breakdowns, words slipping, technology glitching, old wounds resurfacing in conversations that you thought were already healed. That's not chaos, that's divine recalibration. Mercury isn't trying to harm you, it's trying to strip you bare of what no longer aligns, so you can move into coherence before the timelines split for good. And now, here's the most important piece, the solar flash. You've heard whispers of it, maybe in your dreams, maybe in deep meditation, maybe in moments when the sky felt too quiet. It's not science fiction, it's prophecy. It's encoded in every spiritual text, in every ancient myth. The moment when divine light pierces the sky and reboots everything. The solar flash isn't just a physical phenomenon, it's a galactic initiation. It's a frequency event that will collapse the density grid that's kept humanity locked in cycles of karma and illusion. And you, Starseed, have been training to hold that light. to absorb without distortion, to anchor it through your body so that others can remember who they are through you. But to hold that frequency, your vessel must be cleansed. That's why your body is purging the sweats, the nausea, the skin rashes, the sudden food intolerances. You're shedding what cannot ascend. You're burning off lifetimes of residue. And it's uncomfortable, but it's sacred. Even time is breaking down. Have you noticed the loop? One day blends into the next. The concept of past, present, and future seems irrelevant. That's because you're moving into quantum flow. The linear framework is dissolving, and your soul is remembering how to operate outside of time. And with it, your old identity begins to crumble. You question your purpose. Your name feels foreign. Your desires seem to vanish. This is not loss. This is soul realignment. You're not failing, you're ascending. You may feel alone even when surrounded by people. That is part of the refinement, the divine isolation. You're being pulled out of the collective noise so that you can hear the frequency of your own mission again. Because Starseed, it is almost time. The energy has already begun rising. In the next wave, the electromagnetic architecture of your DNA will be exposed to ultraviolet light from the galactic core. And when that happens, your soul codes, long dormant, long forgotten, will begin unlocking. Your intuition will sharpen. Your clairvoyance will increase. You'll begin to hear the earth breathe. You'll begin to sense vibrations in people's voices that reveal more than their words. You'll dream of ancient councils. You'll remember names you never learned. And none of this is coincidence. You're not just waking up, you're being initiated. And every ache, every glitch, every tear is preparing you to receive the transmission you were sent here to carry. So breathe. Drink water, not just to hydrate, but to transmit. Water carries light. Let it flush through you. Stand barefoot on the earth. Let Gaia recalibrate you. Listen to the silence, not the void, but the space where the divine speaks without sound. You are not crazy. You are not sick. You are not alone. You are transitioning. You are activating. They've been watching. Not in the way you were taught to fear, but in the way a mother watches her sleeping child. With devotion, reverence, and infinite patience. The star councils have never left you. They have been orbiting the outer edges of your consciousness, whispering, nudging, waiting for this moment. And now the veil has thinned enough for the transmissions to reach you in full clarity. Breathe. You're ready to hear this now. The Pleiadian emissaries speak first. Their energy soft, luminous, woven with liquid compassion. They remind you that everything you feel is valid. The confusion, the grief, the elation, the disbelief. You were not meant to feel numb through this transition. You were meant to feel everything. Because your emotional body is the tuning fork of the soul. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It's your gateway. You are the harmonic bridge, they say, between form and formless, between earth and ether, between past and future timelines. The collapse you sense is not destruction. It is realignment. You are not losing reality. You are stepping into the true one. And then the Arcturians arrive. Their frequency more crystalline, more electric, pulsing through the crown and the spine. They offer you a map, not of land or location, but of light architecture. They show you how your personal frequency is weaving into the collective grid. They show you Earth as a luminous, spinning sphere of coded intersections, and at every node, a starseed, a being like you, positioned by divine precision. You are a key holder, they say, placed exactly where you are, not by accident, but by galactic design. Your job is not to move. Your job is to emit, to resonate, to hold the tone when everything else falls silent. And now, the Lyrans. You may feel their presence now, like a heat in your chest, a pressure in your third eye. They carry the codes of divine sovereignty, and their message is sharp, ancient, clear. The final phase has begun. The collapse of false timelines is underway. Your reality is now in quantum flux, and you are the stabilizers. You must hold your field no matter what illusion crumbles around you. You have been trained across lifetimes for this. The Lyran Council reveals that many of you trained in the temples of light before incarnating, that you were shown simulations of this timeline collapse. You were shown war, distraction, confusion, digital noise, spiritual distortion. You saw it all. And still you chose to come. Because you knew you were strong enough. You knew your light would remember. You knew that when the signals came, when the frequencies shifted, when the earth began to hum differently, you would awaken. You would know. And now, The signals are coming faster. The galactic wave that has been traveling through the Orion Gate is nearing its final stage. This isn't metaphor, this is measurable. In the heartbeat of the Schumann resonance, in the spontaneous auroras, in the patterns forming in the solar wind. You may not speak the language of astrophysics, you don't need to, because your soul speaks the language of vibration. And that vibration is saying, get ready. The councils are unanimous in this message. You were not sent here to be perfect. You were sent to be present, to be anchored, to remember who you are when others forget. And when the solar flash hits, and it will, it is not your job to explain it. It is your job to radiate the frequency of remembrance, so that when the confusion sets in, when the false systems break, when the noise falls to silence, the people around you will feel something ancient in your eyes. They may not understand what's happening, but they will feel you, and that feeling will anchor them. That's what you've been training for, not to preach, not to convince, but to hold the frequency so steady, so unshakable, that those in the storm will find themselves standing in your light, remembering the truth they buried long ago. You are the memory keepers, the Pleiadians say. You are the frequency architects. You are not lost. You are seated. You are encoded. And yes, many of you have doubted this. You felt like imposters, like dreamers, like you failed somehow because you don't always feel powerful, because you forget sometimes, because you get tired, angry, afraid. But listen carefully. But listen. The Lyrans remind you, though your human self was never meant to be flawless. It was meant to hold light through the mess of humanity. It was meant to fracture sometimes because that's how the light leaks through. And so they whisper now through your bones, your cells, your dreams. You're being prepared for the flash, not with fear, but with fire. They urge you to detox, not only physically, but emotionally. Cleanse your resentment, your guilt, your need to be understood. That is the old template. You no longer need validation. You need vibration. You no longer need logic. You need alignment. You are being retuned to remember the greater mission, the one you signed before you arrived here, the one that didn't begin in childhood, the one that began in the stars. Some of you are awakening to your star names. Some of you are hearing ringing in your ears, not from illness, but from transmissions. Some of you are drawing light codes without knowing why. That's not imagination. That's not nonsense. That's your lineage. You were never meant to fit in here. You were meant to seed a new world. And now the councils say that new world is trembling beneath the surface. It is cracking through the illusion. And when the solar flash comes, it will not be a moment of panic. For those aligned, it will be a homecoming. So stand tall, stand still. The storm is not against you, but it is clearing the air so that the signal can reach you without distortion. You've been trained for this, and now it begins. You've been asking, in quiet moments, in breaking points, in the silence that follows emotional storms, why does it feel like everything is falling apart? Why do you feel exhausted in your bones, hollow in your soul, distant from a world you used to understand? The answer isn't found in logic. It's not in your blood work, not in the self-help books, not in a diagnosis. It's in your soul contract. You are being stripped of all illusion because your essence is too powerful, too luminous, too sacred to be housed in anything false. This collapse you're feeling is not your destruction, it's your resurrection. It is the dissolution of what never truly belonged to you. Inherited fear, projected timelines, ancestral trauma, expectations stitched into your psyche by a society that never understood your purpose. You're being peeled down to your original frequency, the one you held before the world told you who to be. So, yes, the confusion is part of it. The sadness, the aching, the sense that you're floating between worlds and can't land in either. That's because you are between worlds. Your spirit has one foot in the collapsing matrix and one in the emerging light grid of new Earth. That tug of war, that's the tension of transformation. You're not broken, you're birthing. And birth is never quiet. It's raw, it's messy, it demands everything, and it's asking for everything now. You may be forgetting names, losing track of time, walking into rooms and forgetting why. That's not forgetfulness, that's reorientation. Your neural circuits are detaching from the 3D grid. Your brain is recalibrating to source data. You're not operating on survival programming anymore. You're reactivating divine memory. That's why familiar things now feel foreign. That's why certain conversations make your skin crawl. That's why some foods make you nauseous. Why certain music makes you weep. Why you can't scroll through your feed without sensing something has shifted beneath the surface of it all. You're not becoming sensitive, you're becoming attuned. The veil is paper thin now. And your aura is no longer just a container of energy, it's becoming a field of translation. You are reading energy now, not just language. You're hearing people's intentions before they speak. You're sensing the vibration behind the smile. You're feeling the weight behind the silence. And that can be overwhelming, but it's also necessary. Because when the 5D grid stabilizes, you will not navigate reality through intellect. You will navigate it through vibration. But for that, you must make space inside yourself. You cannot carry the density of survival into the field of divine resonance. This is why rest is no longer optional. Your body isn't tired from just physical strain. It's tired because it's anchoring light. Your sleep is no longer just sleep. It's ceremony. Your dreams are no longer just stories. They're multidimensional briefings. Stop apologizing for needing time. Stop feeling guilt for choosing stillness. Stillness is sacred now. And in that stillness, you're being given tools, not flashy, not obvious, subtle things. You begin to feel drawn to nature, to the sound of rain, to the hum of singing bowls, to frequencies that align your breath with your heart. You begin to crave simplicity, clean foods, honest words, quiet truths. The clutter begins to repel you. Honor that. That's your soul saying prepare. Begin your mornings with intention, not urgency. Choose frequencies, not distractions. When your energy dips, don't push. Listen. Your system is not malfunctioning, it's reprogramming. Some of you are hearing star language now, athams, tones, clicks, hums you don't recognize. Some are scribbling symbols in your notebooks, drawing spirals, grids, light codes that flow through your fingers without thought. Don't dismiss this. That's soul data. That's ancient memory flowing through your subconscious. You're not making it up. You're remembering who you are without interference. And part of that remembering includes unlearning. You may feel anger rising, irritation, a sharp edge to your emotions. That's part of the purge. You're releasing false timelines, decisions made from fear, patterns rooted in survival, compromises that dimmed your light. Let it go. Let the grief rise if it must. Grief is holy. Grief means you're finally allowing your soul to shed the old skin. Not with shame, but with reverence. You are not your past. You are the light that walked through it. And when the emotional waves come, ride them. Don't suppress. Don't distract. Don't numb it. Cry if you must. Breathe into the pain. Shake it out. Move your body in rhythm. Let sound move through your chest, even if it's just a whisper of a mantra. I am still here. I am remembering. I am aligning. And when you feel lost, come back to the earth. Put your feet on the soil. Lean against the trunk of a tree. Close your eyes and listen to the wind. These are not poetic metaphors. These are technologies. Gaia is not passive. She is your ally. She holds the frequency of 5D in her crystalline core. She's already anchored it. And when you connect to her, you remember what safety feels like in your field. And finally, release judgment of yourself, of others. Everyone is on their own frequency timeline. Some are just now awakening. Others are still deep in the forgetting. Your job is not to force them awake. Your job is to hold the light steady so they have something to wake up to. There is no prize for being the fastest. There is no punishment for needing time. You are not competing, you are co-creating. So breathe, Starseed. Drink the water, touch the earth, sing when no one's listening, cleanse your space, light the candle, speak the prayer. Move your body not for image, but for energy. You are not failing. You are evolving. You are not too sensitive. You are fully alive. And in that aliveness, you are remembering your place in the symphony of ascension. No longer an echo. Now, a frequency. You're not crazy. Let those words settle in your chest like medicine. You're not making this up. You're not losing your mind. What you're experiencing is real, just not in the way the world was trained to recognize. You are not malfunctioning. You are remembering. This world was never designed to validate your truth, because your truth is too big, too luminous, too multidimensional to be contained by linear language and 5 sense perception. That's why it hurts. That's why the doubt creeps in when you're alone. That's why you sometimes feel like a ghost in your own life, because you are walking between worlds. But I want you to hear this. You made it happen. You made this shift real through your breath, your healing, your choice to stay here, even when everything in you wanted to leave. You could have numbed out. You could have disappeared. You could have stayed silent. But you didn't. You chose to remember. And that remembering is what cracked the grid open. You are the reason this shift is even possible. And now the light is flowing through the cracks you created, healing others even when you don't see it. Your frequency is doing the work. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to push. You just need to be. Because in being, in resting, breathing, trusting, you become the lighthouse you were born to be. I know it's hard. I know the days feel heavy. You watch people you love spiral into fear and confusion. You feel the weight of the collective grief. You walk through crowds and feel everything, and it's tempting to retreat forever, to disappear into the quiet. But you didn't come here to escape. You came here to transmit, to exist as a living signal that says, we made it through the dark, we are still here, and we remember. And that remembering is what awakens the others. You don't have to preach. You don't have to prove. You don't have to post your frequency. You only have to hold it. The divine realms see you. Your guides have never left you. The councils, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Lyran, they walk with you in every choice, every breath. You are not doing this alone. There are thousands like you, millions even. Starseeds scattered across the earth in the precise locations where the grid needed light the most. Many of them don't even know their full origin yet. But they're waking up now, boss, because you did first. You've been holding it for them, quietly, tirelessly, and now they're beginning to rise. All across the planet, the starseed frequency is amplifying, like a cosmic heartbeat syncing, like the bones of a forgotten temple vibrating with life again. You may feel this in your chest, that sudden pulse, a moment of warmth, a flicker of peace that comes from nowhere. That's them, that's your family. Soul family, light family, galactic family, reminding you we're still here. You've never been crazy, you've just been early. And now, finally, the others are arriving. You'll recognize them by their energy, their eyes, the way time slows around them, the way you speak in silence. These aren't new people, these are soul echoes. Ancient allies you've met before in stars and temples and dimensions lost to human memory. And when you meet them again, your field will light up. You won't have to explain who you are. They'll already know. But until then, trust the quiet. Trust the empty spaces. They are not voids. They are sacred wombs preparing you for what's next. And while you wait, speak these affirmations over your energy field like prayer, like truth, like remembrance. I am not lost. I am returning. I am not broken. I am becoming. I am not alone. I am surrounded. I am not weak. I am realigning. I am not too much. I am just enough for this mission. Say them out loud if you can. Whisper them into your palms. Write them into water. Let them recalibrate the false programs you've carried for far too long. You were not made to shrink. You were not born to doubt your brilliance. You did not incarnate to simply survive the matrix. You came here to transcend it with tenderness, with power, with light in your eyes that no trauma could extinguish. You are a light worker, an architect of the new earth, a messenger of timelines collapsed and futures reborn. And when you feel like giving up, remember this. You are the prayer your ancestors spoke into the stars. You are the proof that healing is possible. You are the bridge between galaxies. And the bridge doesn't collapse. The bridge holds even when the winds rise, even when the world crumbles, even when no one sees the foundation beneath your feet. Because your strength isn't loud, it's not explosive, it's eternal. And in this very moment, with the world shifting, with the timelines destabilizing, with light and shadows spiraling in a cosmic dance, you are exactly where you need to be. Here, alive, awake, and remembering. Starseed, if you're still here, still listening, it means the frequency in your soul has locked onto something that cannot be explained with words. It means the memory is alive. You didn't find this message by accident. It wasn't a scroll, a click, or a coincidence. It was a signal. You were led here by your own higher self, by your soul family, by the silent magnetism of resonance that says, yes, this is for me. And if you feel that, then you already know you've crossed a threshold. From this moment forward, you will not be able to unknow what your soul just remembered. The illusion of separation? It's fading. The noise? Less convincing now. You are stepping into full alignment with your divine mission, whether you fully understand it or not. You don't need a roadmap. You are the map. You are not waiting for the new world. You are building it with your breath. But remember this, not everyone will understand. This message isn't meant for everyone. That's how it was designed. You'll feel the urge to share it, to show it, to speak about it in rooms not ready to hear it. And when you do, pause, listen, trust the energy, because some frequencies are sacred. Some messages are meant to be protected. Don't force this. Let it echo only where it's recognized, where the remembrance stirs something ancient and electric in the bones, where the soul says yes before the mind catches up. Because this message is not information, it's activation. So if you felt something, a pull in your gut, a warmth in your chest, a flicker behind your eyes, a name you couldn't place but suddenly remembered, it's already begun. The phase is underway, the solar gate is opening, the old grid is dissolving. And you, radiant, ancient, encoded you, are standing right where you're meant to. In the heart of the collapse, in the light of the rebirth. This is your confirmation. This is your reminder. This is your return. So hold steady. Breathe deep. Let the tears come if they must. Let the stillness surround you like a soft golden blanket. Let yourself rest in the knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And if this transmission resonated, not in your mind, but in your field, stay close. This space is for you. This voice will keep speaking. The councils will keep transmitting. The path will keep lighting up one step at a time. You won't walk it alone. Subscribe for future updates. They will arrive when you're ready. No sooner, no later. If you're meant to find the next message, you will. You always do. And finally, don't share this widely. Only the awakened will understand. Only those whose souls are ready will feel the truth behind the words. The rest will pass it by, and that is divine. Not everyone is meant to awaken now, but you are. You always were. You always will be. And we are with you, Benmes, in the shadows, in the light, in the stillness between. Watching, guiding, remembering, until the grids align, until the timelines merge, until Earth is reborn in light. We are you. You are us. And the final phase has already begun.